What you know about internal engine cleanliness? Let's talk about it for a minute and discuss the importance of having a clean internal engine. First of all, inside your engine you have a lot of oil lubrication ports, and they're not very big. They're only about the size of the head of a pin. And if you block those, such as the ones to your rod bearings, it's going to cause your engine to have a very short lifespan. It's going to cause your engine to have rod knock and eventually to throw a rod and bust a hole through it. In addition, you've got a bunch of small cooling passages. One of the smaller ones is on your thermostat, and again it's about the size of a pinhead, as you can see here. And if you block that, that can cause air to back up where the spring is, and if that happens, then this won't open. And if that happens, then that'll cause your engine to overheat and you'll blow your head gasket. If you blow your head gasket, that can lead to a lot of costly repairs, and it also can lead to rod bearing failure because of blockage of other oil journals. So the internal cleanliness of your engine, it's paramount. This is a cylinder head, and specifically this is where the camshafts ride. Now where the camshafts ride, you've got these teeny little oil journals. As you can see, like I say, they're about the size of a pinhead. And on the crankshaft main bearings and on the other things that support the weight of your pistons, they're also about that same size. So it's important to have good oil filtration, such as why you have your oil filter. But it's also good to just not add anything that can cause a blockage. Alright, I have a lot of people that are asking questions about head gaskets on these Subarus. As everybody knows, the head gasket goes out at about between 150 and 180,000 miles. It goes out faster if you use crappy antifreeze. What happens is the head gaskets themselves tend to swell, and you get this kind of an effect, and they just kind of disintegrate. You can see the rust color because they used water without antifreeze because they had a leak. But over time these swell, they break down, they fall apart, they die, and then you have to put new ones in. And some people ask, is it okay if I use some type of a head gasket, stop leak, some kind of a sealer or something to make it so that I can get by till payday, or I don't know what they're thinking. They're just hoping on a prayer that they're not going to have to pay me $1,500 to replace the head gaskets for them. But in reality, that's money well spent, because if you don't, this has been all cleaned out. You've got all these journals. You want to see what the head gasket stop leak looks like in there? Look at all the crud, look at all the garbage in there. It just looks like crap. All of this can create blockages on your thermostat. You grab a thermostat, I'll show you what I mean. See, this is a thermostat. This goes in your housing in your water pump. Let me aim down a little bit. But it basically gets shoved up in there, and you got this tiny little hole in it to let any air bleed through or bleed out. Can you imagine what this stuff would do to the hole on your thermostat? It would just totally block it up, gum it up, make it stick open. I mean, it's just bad news. So would you use something like this? I say no based on that alone. But another thing that you need to realize is that inside of your cooling system, you've got tubes and pipes from your water pump that cycles up to your heater pipe, your heater core. See these two pipes that I have right here? When you send it through there, it gets into your heater core, and then it blocks it off, so then your heater doesn't blow hot in the wintertime. You can have one pipe will be really hot, the other pipe will be really cold, and your heat sucks because you tried to take a shortcut. Oftentimes in life, the shortcuts make things longer, harder, worse. It's better to do the job right the first time, so don't use that stuff. Another place that it goes is out through this into your radiator and plugs your radiator up, and then you have overheating problems. So you've got a plugged up radiator, a plugged up heater core, and then you decide your head gaskets are still a problem, you have to do it anyway. So then you pay the money, whether it's $1,500 through me or $2,500 through somebody else. You pay to get that done, and then you put the engine back in and then go to run it, and then it overheats still. Let me explain why it's overheating. Remember this guy right here that goes to the radiator? Your radiator's plugged up. So I'm having to go through and clean all of this out because we just put in a new radiator and the heater core is working kind of funky as it is because of the head gasket having compression gases get into the water jacket and cause problems with the thermostat not opening and sending air into the heater core and having intermittent air problems. So should you use a stop leak additive that you put in the radiator to solve your head gasket problem? You tell me. Do you want to pay for things twice or just once? So if your radiator's plugged up, it's going to ruin your new head gaskets if you overheat, and then you're going to be a lot more expensive in the long run. Find somebody that knows what they're doing. Pay them to do it right the first time. Get a good deal on it because there's plenty of good mechanics out there. Don't go to big ones, and you'll be okay. So that's my answer. The numbers and the stats aren't screaming, but the styling is. Beautiful car. Definite head turner. A Nash Healy. Look how narrow the headlights in the grill are. Funny is you want to turn ladies' heads. You don't show up in a Lamborghini, you show up in something like this. You show up in a Lamborghini, the guys will flock. You show up in this, the girls do. There's a Kaiser. See the buffalo on the front, the K. 1951 Traveler.